Welcome everybody to episode 277 of the effing title. I'm Big Husky.
I'm DeNutte.
And we're back. As you can't tell.
Secret level.
It's Christmassy time.
Is it Christmas time?
It's Christmassy time.
It's Christmas time. It's Christmas time.
Alright, so Secret Level just came out. We wanted to talk about it because, of course, we talk about the things we actually kind of enjoy and watch and like. When it's football season, we still do these things every now and then, and we haven't done one in a little bit, really, because there hasn't really been anything.
No, we just did. We did
our card game stuff.
The effing card game, and then last thing we did was the Rebel One.
Yeah,
Rebel
One. Yeah, so
Rebel One, not Rebel One.
Yeah, so Secret Level is an anthology series. New thing from
same
Amazon.
studio that did Love, Death, and Robots, which was very good. There's 3 seasons of that.
Yep. Which is funny because that was one of the first things that people were saying was like, why is it trying to be like that? And it's like, it's by the exact same people that did it, bro.
You're like, oh, and they nailed it.
It literally takes 10 seconds to look that up.
And my favorite episode, not saying what it is yet, is very reminiscent of Love, Death, and Robots, and I think that's why it was my favorite episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's 2. I would say there's two episodes that are very Love, Death, and Robots.
Okay, I like
one of them is my number 1, actually.
So as always, we do our overall review and just kind of our overall like big take right off the rip. So what was your big take of Secret Level?
I know I've seen a lot of takes here and there. You know, they released it 2 parts. They released last Friday. Today's Thursday,
weird.
right?
Yeah. No, they released it last Tuesday and then this Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday.
Okay, so over a week, which actually that's whatever.
We weren't ready for that.
No, we just thought we'd all be at once.
Yeah.
But I was behind. I just finished it right before we hopped on. I very positive. That's how I view it. Very positive.
I think
I know a lot of people think there are a lot of duds.
I
had a couple duds for sure.
I think,
but I know my list will make a couple of people angry.
Yes,
my reasoning will be make a couple of people angry.
I think mine potentially will, but I also doubt it. But at the same time, I would say this: I think that for me, I think that the highs were very high.
Yes,
but the lows were also very low. Like that, to me, this is a full extreme where it's like the highs are great, but if it's a bad thing, it's a bad thing. Overall, though, excited that it did get picked up for season 2.
Yeah.
And that's the thing we will talk about here at the end of all of this.
Also, I feel like that shouldn't be a shocker, but I mean, it's not in the top 10 on Amazon right now, so that's another thing to consider. Not in the top 10.
Interesting. Okay, so let's. I'm gonna give this a. You know, I'm gonna be very basic today. It's a 4 out of 5. It's very good, but it's not perfect.
I would say like 4.2.
Yeah, so that's big.
It's tough because again, good highs, but I think as an anthology series where it takes different animators. It's hard to like give it a whole because there's a lot of hands on deck on this one.
Yes, you almost have to literally like, which we will talk about here in a second with the best, the worst, and kind of
we won't like break episode, but like it is like
that's kind of how
some episodes that stand like ahead of the others.
Yeah, I mean, and I feel like there's a big like you kind of have to with some of these like it's because like for instance, just looking episode 5, is completely on a whole nother level than like episode 12.
Yeah, what's episode 5?
Warhammer.
Okay,
and episode 12 is Splunky. 2 completely different levels. I'm not talking like ratings. I'm just talking style, art choice, the way it's done, the message of the thing. Just it's 2 completely different things. So it's a very difficult one to grade. That's why I'm just gonna go with a basic like 4, maybe even a 3.5. Now that I'm saying it again,
I will give you a funny thing. Spelunky and Warhammer are very close on the list to each other for me.
I love that. All right, so DeNutte did a list. I did a best worst, and I want more of a list. There was 15 episodes in total.
Yep.
Now, I will say this. This is one thing I will say before we get into this, and I'll see if you agree with me or not. Week 1's lineup was better than Week 2's. And it's, to me, kind of a little bit wild that it was so drastic.
For you, maybe.
Yeah, for me it was a little bit drastic.
Yeah. I'm looking at mine. I'm like, it's kind of split for me. It's pretty split for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, do you want to go with
I think we could both probably. I think I'm gonna guess you.
Okay.
And me. Okay. One of our bottom threes.
Okay.
PlayStation.
Yes, that is my worst. That is my
that is my worst as well.
It is the final episode.
It's not because all right, and people are like, if anyone has ever watched Xbox fanboys, whatever.
Yeah, that.
So at its core, all these are ads, right?
Yeah. So
at the end of the day, they are ads.
They're ads.
This one is the only one that felt. This and Conquered.
Oh God, that's
which
side note. That's my 14.
Which I also brought that up because I knew that was going to be. Conquered is my number 11, actually.
Yeah, that's my 14.
Out of 14, I didn't watch Honor of Kings.
Yeah.
PlayStation felt like a true ad. It got Kevin Hart in there.
It just it was.
It was Kevin Hart, right? I didn't
look that up. It felt like to me it felt like a wasted potential of an episode.
Oh yeah, because when they showed it, they showed these huge characters. You're like, oh, this is going to be sick. We're going to have a God of War episode. We're going to have
Shadow of the Colossus.
We're going to have Helldiver stuff. But really, just Helldivers didn't even fire their guns.
I mean, this thing is I would have rather watched an episode about all of them. I'm also not gonna lie to everyone out there. Like DeNutte said, we are Xbox fanboys. I'm not even taking that into account. If they did this as an Xbox, if they did an Xbox episode like this, I'll just be saying the exact same thing.
You're just gonna see what Master Chief and Ori and
Master Chief, Ori, and freaking Gears of War chasing after some girl on a bicycle trying to deliver a little amoeba squid dude. I got 8 minutes. I got 6 minutes in the episode and I said I'm done. I don't care.
I almost turned it off. I was like, I have to finish.
I turned it off. No. So that's my worst of the worst. Conquered's the next worst, but I will say this: I will give Conquered at least some credit.
I would say if we knew that we were getting more, it probably would have been higher for me. It was a very cool premise. It was I loved the art style. I'm just saying,
that's my thing. I liked the art style. I liked some of the designs of the stuff when they were going into the temporal warp and it was doing all the little
very cool.
That was all beautifully done, very cool looking.
Yeah.
However, everything about the episode felt forced, and it felt like let's try to be cool, and that's how I took every single thing that they were doing. When
they did their contingency plan and when she shot the guns out of the stuffed animal, I liked that.
Yep.
But then when they shot the head off, I was like, all right.
Like I said, I felt like the entire episode was hey, let's try to be as cool as possible. So storing all of the basic
it's very PG-13, right?
Yeah.
There's violence, but there's no explicit like
they're shooting people and they're just falling down.
They're falling down or they're missing, right? Yeah. So I don't know. I think that's all we really need to say about Conquered. Yeah. I say Conquered. But Concord.
Yeah, Concord, but Conquered.
Conquered.
And my final three of my worst is Crossfire.
Okay. I get that. I actually thought that one sparked a lot of conversation between, there was the good guy, bad guy. Mm-hmm. And that's actually a huge theme of Crossfire X is that there's this world where who's good, who's bad. And that's kind of a lot of war and faction things
it's funny because Crossfire X came out a year or two ago, something like that.
Full release, yeah. But it came out much
they did the beta.
I streamed the beta 4 years ago.
I was gonna say, I think we streamed because I'm pretty sure I played
probably.
it with you.
It was broken,
but no, I enjoyed the game, and I saw that they were doing an episode. I was like, oh, this is gonna be interesting. I liked the premise, but I was just bored the entire time, and I just didn't my overarching kind of thing with some of these. If I don't care about the IP, I just don't care. Yeah. And there's but there's somewhere it's I don't care, but they dragged me in.
I'll be that fly on the wall that's it's really it's really a commentary on war that
that was my thing with it.
It was good. You know what I noticed? If I take it, this was a note I kept focusing on. It kept focusing in on vehicles moving, right?
Yeah.
It kept focusing on tires.
Yeah.
It kept like there was a really big tire physics with the animation. Like every time a vehicle moved, you like the tire would like squish or like move around.
Yeah.
There's a lot of emphasis on tire physics in this one. And that's just a very weird observation.
So they're playing. So they got it's Michelin Man. But the only thing I could think of the entire time while watching it.
That was my number 6.
The only thing I could think about while watching that entire thing was I would like to see a full game that is built around this sort of thing.
It could be very Bad Company-esque. It doesn't need to be silly like Bad Company.
Yeah.
But it's like you see these like sides because like
almost like an extraction shooter to an extent. But
you know who's doing that really well right now? This exact thing that Crossfire is the Neil Blomkamp game, who is another master of anthology series. By the way, I don't know if you've ever seen any of his stuff.
Neil Blomkamp is the one that did District 8, right?
Yeah.
Love that movie.
So his Off the Grid.
Oh, that game okay.
That's Neil. That's his studio. That's his game.
Oh, damn!
That's like his like baby right now.
Shit, cool.
So like they're doing like a big thing. Even like during the election, they released a whole like Joe Biden and Donald character,
AI.
And there was
characters,
skins.
Oh my god!
And so it was just like a caricature of both of them, and it was like it was just making fun of both of them, and it was like a very like they're very self-aware of like it's just like it's all stupid. Like they're all just making it's just like I don't know. I think that game's nailing it right now. It's like my tangent about something completely different. But I gave Crossfire was number 6 on my list.
Okay.
Mid-level. Yeah.
So that's my bottom 3 though. My bottom 3 is Crossfire, Concord, and
my bottom 3 PlayStation.
Yep.
Mega Man.
So Mega Man, I put in. I'm going to talk about this right here. I put that in my more.
Yeah. So that my whole thing is that like it was so short. It was maybe I think it was 6 minutes.
No. I did the math out. It was under.
You did? Okay.
It was under 5 minutes.
Okay, it was too short, and it just wasn't enough. And like, Mega Man's been done. Also,
yes.
So it didn't like a lot of these have never been like fleshed out.
This is the first time that to the general audience anyway, because like for instance, Warhammer has Warhammer TV, so Warhammer's done a lot of that stuff.
All right.
Right, but to the general audience, this was kind of the first
my Warhammer number 7. I put it behind Crossfire.
Okay,
number 7 because the art was very good.
Yes,
there's better Warhammer fan made series on YouTube.
I mean that is fair as well.
So like for me, I'm like it was okay. Yeah. I love Warhammer. Look, I got minis right here. Like I like Warhammer.
Yeah.
Not painted yet, as a true fan. But I think their Warhammer could have been better. I'd like to see more, but also it was a continuation of Space Marine.
Yes, it's a part. It's a part of the game.
A flashback or something.
Yes.
It's so it's Titus as an Ultramarine pre. So I don't know when that happens with this episode.
Yes, all I know is that before it came out, they were saying that because that was one of the big ones that was being talked about with like Henry Cavill was pissed that they were doing an episode of Warhammer because he's supposed to be doing the Warhammer stuff.
Yeah,
and then they basically were like, "Look, dude, it's part of the game. It's not going to be the universe that you're doing. It's it's that.
It's the game. It's part of the game, which is already So that's my thing on Warhammer. I put it it's literally right in the middle.
But my Mega Man thing was
actually on the lower end.
My Mega Man thing was that I liked the art style. I thought the art style was very good. But like I said though, it's an 8-minute episode. There's a 30-second intro, and the outro starts at 6 minutes or 5 minutes in, and it's like what are we doing? Like the Concord episode is 18 minutes long.
Yeah,
and Mega Man is under 5.
That felt weird.
And that's a name that's like. Mega Man is a name.
It's probably the oldest name, along with PAC-MAN.
So it's like,
yeah. So and so then my third worst was Sifu.
So Sifu's also on my more. That's
Yeah,
my three
so
more now. My three.
so
no,
like
actually, no, it isn't. That's two of my mores. But
that one's tough because like that world every time he dies he gets older, he gets stronger, health goes down. That's the story of Sifu. If you're not familiar with Sifu,
yeah, no, I had no clue. So like that's why it's my more because I have no clue on it.
Sifu's like a Souls-like, right? So you go through levels, you fight. Every time you die, you respawn. You're a little bit older, and you're a little bit stronger, but you have less health.
Oh, okay. So just the longer you go, the less health you get, but the stronger and better you are. Okay.
Which is why he kept dying faster, but he eventually beat them because he did get stronger.
Oh, okay, makes sense now. I just noticed the talisman on his hip.
Yeah. So that's the whole thing with Sifu.
Okay.
I don't know the hardcore story behind it, but that's the base level. That's what Sifu is. So like my thing is like you have this one instance, you just show one fight, and my thing is like he blew his load in one fight, and that's why I was like, I don't know.
That's so fair. I put it in.
I don't know if there's a way for him to get younger again. Okay, you could go with more. I'll go with more.
I went with more just because I have no clue about Sifu. I thought the episode was cool. I liked the idea. Like, I liked one of the ones when, like, he died and he fell down. And when he fell down, it was almost like splashing into the other world. And it was an older version of him showing him stuff and, like, going through stuff with him. And then he starts to pick himself up. And he is now that older self version. I'm like, oh. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then you saw the moves that he was doing in that thing. I'm like,
the game is supposed to be very good. Very hard. It's a hard game, from what I hear. But it's on... I don't know if it's on Xbox. It's on PC. It's on PlayStation.
Yeah, but that's why it was on my more. So I got one more on my more right now. But
I'm
gonna let you keep going down your list because eventually.
That was actually. I'd like to hear you more because then it could be.
So my last more is Armored Core.
Armored Core.
Yep.
My number 3. Number 3.
Okay, I would like to see more because I know nothing about Armored Core.
I don't either.
It was a fantastic episode.
Very good episode.
But yet again, it made me want to know more, and that's that's the big thing. Is like, and I think that's the cool thing with some of these is that they want to make like some of these that make you want to know more because it almost makes me want to play Armored Core. But at the same time, I have a feeling that if I do play Armored Core and it's nothing like this, I'm gonna be a little upset.
So there's a couple frames. All right, so for a split second, so like when he got in his mech, right? And he was first person, and then it boosted out, and it went to like almost third person right behind him.
Yeah.
Right. That is the cam as how you play Armored Core. You play that in third person. I've never played it. It's a Souls-like game. It's made by FromSoft.
Oh, okay.
I believe I could be making that one up, but it is a Souls-like mech game.
Okay.
It's a hard game.
Okay, so not for Husky. Got it. Mm-hmm.
It is. It's so like not for me. I'm not afraid to say it. Not for me either. So I mean, Armored Core 6 came out. People love it. So there's at least 6 games. Mm-hmm. Imagine there's probably more, but there's at least 6 games. Armored Core, very cool episode. Keanu, awesome. The ending when I thought he was like gonna like help his buddy and he just crushed his skull. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, that was the thing. Is like a lot of the trailer stuff showed him like putting the finger out and the guy putting his hand on it, and I was like, oh, he's gonna help him out. And then I saw the finger keep going. I was like, oh, he's gonna squish him. And then it just, there's only me, or or whatever Connie.
There's no one like me.
Yeah, there's no one like me.
Yeah. So that was my number 3 actually. So I enjoyed that one a lot.
All right, and so
Dark.
I was gonna say, do you want to just go through your list and then eventually we'll probably hit my bests?
Yeah, sure. My number 1.
So
I want you to guess. I guess my number 1. How about that?
Okay. So before I guess, Warhammer was my number 2.
Okay, Warhammer's number 7.
Yeah. So for me, Warhammer was number 2 simply just because, like I said, first time
Actually, I'll go number 2 first. I won't go to number 1.
Okay.
Number 2. Is I know a lot of people didn't like this one either, and I really enjoyed it. New World.
New World was funny.
Yeah, it was funny. I loved that they had Arnold.
Yeah, that was it's not on my list for best, worst, or more. It's right in the middle area. It's just it was a funny episode, and it was kind of nice because there was a lot of these that were very serious. There was a lot of these that were just very confusing, and then there was this episode that's just Arnold being a goofball. It's very straightforward.
You get it. You're like, oh, so I don't know. Are you familiar with New World at all?
No.
So I played New World. I had a max level character, and then I was just like, the end game's kind of like whatever. So I stopped playing. New World, where they woke up on shore, that is where you start the game.
Oh, okay.
So that was that's where you start the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like you start the game, you do a tutorial, and then you end up there.
Oh, okay.
But the tutorial you kind of go through shipwreck too. But that is the player's starting area is the shipwreck, and that's where you get your first missions and everything.
Okay.
So that, and actually, WoW, one of the starting points is like the same thing. But so New World, MMO, Amazon, so they kind of had to put it in there.
Mm-hmm.
So especially with New World, the new expansion / new game, because it was such a big thing that it's kind of its own new game. Even more so than WoW, where WoW does these big expansions. This is like a whole separate game, kind of. So
okay.
it's on console now, so that's kind of cool. But New World, I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. Like
it was, like I said, it was a nice palate cleanse for the whole thing, because it was a little bit more mature themed than, for instance, like Splunky. But at the same time, it was just goofy, and it was just like, and like I said, it was straightforward.
Yeah.
Like
my number one, PAC-MAN.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
You too?
Yep. So
yeah.
All I was gonna say with Warhammer, because you cut me off now when I keep trying to say it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So the only reason Warhammer's my number 2 because, like I said, first time to the general audience now seeing Warhammer, but it was the fact that they made everything seem powerful, big, powerful, and strong, and that's it. That's all I wanted.
3 of the Space Marines died.
Yeah.
Those
that's my thing was like, and I showed my dad it today.
You kind of, I guess.
Yeah, too, because we don't know about.
I
showed them fighting the cultists on the motorcycles. I showed that scene to my dad today, and my dad was like ear to ear smiling, like fully invested. And my dad does not care.
That's a big British thing, right?
Warhammer, oh yeah. There was one. There's a Games Workshop in, I think it's London. It's either London or Oxford. I want to say it's London. That we used to go to whenever we used to go there. So, like,
he knows of Warhammer.
Yeah, well, because I forced him to go in there, like, you know, it's you know, and it's one of those things where it's like, instead, you know, it'd be like, oh, like, yeah, let's go buy this instead, you know, because I'm like, oh, look at him, you know, so, but, that's the only reason,
my issue, I thought it was very good. Yeah. I just thought, like, it was very palatable, but for me, it was just like, okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know, it's tough, because, like, going from Space Marine, I think there's
that's the other thing is like like, for me, I haven't played Space Marine yet. Still, but you have. So I was like, if I played Space Marine, seeing the cutscenes, seeing the campaign, getting a full 4+ hours.
I would say more than that. Yeah, especially if you're playing on harder
versus 15 minutes.
Yeah,
I can see it. But
PAC-MAN.
This was
look at us.
This was the best.
Same number one, same bad worst one.
Yeah, this was the best. This was the best episode.
And this is the one I was saying. This for me, this is the most loved up in the robots. Like, this is PAC-MAN, but like this is just like a complete reimagination of what PAC-MAN is, and I loved it. Yeah.
Trapped in a vast maze and pursued by ghosts, a mysterious entity summons a warrior to help it escape.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it was just like, it was, because you're watching it and you're kind of, the whole time you're sitting there and you're just like, okay, they're bringing up the cherries, they're bringing up the ghosts, they're bringing up the maze. It's like, okay, well, it's like, and then as soon as the ending of the episode happens, and
you're like the floating robot, that's PAC-MAN.
I honestly didn't even, like, I just thought it was,
so you could, it has like a line across the mouth the whole time.
I was trying to think of it, see if it did when I was watching it, and I was just invested in everything else.
There's a very faint line. There is one. So,
but yeah, no, that was just, it was taking a very old, like you said, very old IP that has zero lore. I mean, it probably has lore, but nothing like what we just saw, and turning
it's
it
not
into
like the cutesy like Miss Pac-Man stuff.
Yeah, and turns it into what
Yeah,
you know. And then, like, the fact, like, it drills into his chest, drills out of his, or, like, gets ripped out of his chest, and then it's just up against the portal to escape, just bouncing off of it, like, have to escape, have to get out, have to do this, have to feed, eat. And I'm sitting there and it's like,
eat.
It's like, this is dark. And then they go back and it's like another tube thing opens and it's like, are you hungry? And it's like, okay, bro, like, what? Yeah, no, PAC-MAN is my number 1 as well.
Yeah.
So
I just love that it was just so out there. that like
You weren't expecting it.
weren't expecting it.
Yeah.
So actually, I just noticed in your image that Pac-Man is in the middle. I didn't even realize that was Pac-Man. Yeah. So that was that one I. All right, my number 4 actually. I know a lot of people didn't like this one.
Did you do 3? Or did
that was 3. Yeah. Armor Core, New World, Pac-Man.
Oh, okay, right. Sorry.
3, 2, 1.
Yep.
Yeah. No, yeah. Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds was just a weird episode.
It was a weird episode. So it's it's Obsidian, right? It's Obsidian.
Yes.
So it's very heavy. I beat New Worlds.
Yeah.
It's very good, but it's very like in the same way. You watched Fallout, right? We did Fallout,
yeah,
right?
We did Fallout,
yeah, we did Fallout. Okay, so the way that Fallout, where people watched it, they're like, why is it so violent and why is it so goofy?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing where it's like this weird, like dystopian future where like there's no government. It's all like companies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Companies run planets. Companies like oversee everything. And the girl in New World who's taken over, Miss Cleo, like that's one of the powerful companies. And like people are just like a good. They're not like people. So like the very first place you go to, like in New World, you're marooned somewhere. You need to fix your ship. It's like this company, and then it's a company that comes in. It's like abusing the people. Some of the people escape, and they try to revolt. And you can pick to help the company, or you can pick to help the people, or you can. There's a weird workaround where you can help both.
Interesting.
And so, like, no matter what you pick, there's a bad outcome. Like if you help the company, all the rebels die. If you help the rebels, the head of the rebels becomes a new dictator and is just as bad as the company.
Oh, good.
So like it's just like this world where like no one's good and it's goofy and it's like just black humor the whole time.
So yeah, I'm completely new to Outer Worlds. As soon as I started like figuring it out,
Outer Worlds 2 is coming out, so it's coming.
My big thing with it, and it's gonna sound so bad, but this is my big thing with it: the dude's face.
I think that was the whole point, is because he's just like this big dummy.
Yeah,
everything's in front of him.
I can't lie.
It's such a bad system. He's just a dumb orphan, and that's like the world.
As soon as he's like, oh, I can't lie, and they're like, just say you found it. Nope, ripped it off myself. Just say you found it. Nope, ripped it off. I can't lie. I'm a good dude. How much is it gonna be? And I was like, okay, I get where we're going here, but like hearing it and then seeing that face and just feeling exactly like the person behind the desk, I'm just like, okay. But like, I thought it was a funny episode. I just, like I said, the main dude, I get that's the satire of it, but at the same time, I'm sitting there and I'm just like, because that's the first episode of week 2.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, like that's what I was saying. Like that number 4 for me. So it was up there.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Yeah. So I'll go with number 5, Exodus.
Okay.
Which imagines a more episode for you.
To an extent, I liked it, but it was one of those things where I forgot what it was. I was watching it and I was doing something, and I probably shouldn't have been doing something.
Yeah.
And I just kind of lost track of what fully was going on, and I tried to go back, and by the time I went back in the episode, I just kind of like, it was one of those things where it's like, it's gone. It's over now for me.
It was a lot of jumping around, a lot of space travel, a lot of not time travel, but time delay. So like,
it was cool.
That's a game that's has not really had anything shown for it yet.
Okay.
So like, it's a new game. It's another game that's not out yet. Like kind of like how Conquered was, but like that one already shut down. But like this one is like, I don't even know anything about it.
Yeah.
I'd like to know more. The universe seems cool. That's where we're at. There's alien technology. It's future.
It's like I said, visually it was really cool. The whole idea of it was really cool. I like the fact that like this has been this many years for her, but it's only been 5 years for him. Like
I know he comes, and then at the end he comes back, and it's clearly like his ex-wife's granddaughter.
Mm-hmm.
So she moved on and had another family. It's all sad.
I did like it. It's just that it was a lot for a 15-minute episode.
Yeah, the actor who played the dad, he's been in a lot of stuff, and I'm forgetting him.
I know exactly who you're talking about, because as soon as I heard the voice, I was like, wait a minute.
He's got one of those voices, and I cannot remember what else he's been in. I want to say he's a Tulsa King. That's one of his more recent things.
I'm going to look really quick, because it's now... which episode is that? That is episode here. Of course, it's not going to tell me.
Episode 11.
All right, cast.
Michael Beach.
Yeah, Michael Beach. Yes.
So he's a big Taylor Sheridan guy. Yeah. So he's in Tulsa King. He's in Mayor of Kingstown. He's
And this is the wild one for me. He's the dad in Aquaman. He's Black Manta's dad.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, he's the one who dies.
Yep, he's the one that dies. Yep,
he's in The Rookie. He's in The Rookie for a bit. I don't know if you ever watched that show with Nathan Fillion, the cop show.
Yes. Yes, I have. Yep.
He's good in that show. Yeah, so he's just kind of a guy who's been in, I'm looking, he's in Saw 10. SWAT. The Harder They Fall, which was a good Netflix Western. SEAL Team.
Yeah.
Madden 21.
That's wild. Madden 21.
He's just Stumptown was actually a one season show that was really good with Colby Smothers and Jake Johnson. He's a guy who's been on a ton of stuff. You reckon as soon as you see him, you recognize him.
Yeah, as soon as you hear the voice, then you like. But yeah, no, I thought it was a good episode. I just, like I said, I was doing something in the middle of it, and it just kind of took me out of the episode. But like visually, I was intrigued by it. Like if I was to have added another one onto each one of these for best, worst, or more, I would put this in more. I would want to see more.
If we were gonna I think we could both assume if we were going visual as a series, this is a 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5.
Oh, yeah.
Visually, none of the episodes look bad.
Yeah, no, there's moments in some of the episodes, but this one visually was very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
So my 6 was Crossfire, 7 Warhammer, 8 was Unreal Tournament, which
Unreal Tournament's my third.
Okay.
Never played it.
I don't really know anything about Unreal Tournament. I don't know anything about the universe.
Nope.
To me, Unreal is just a game engine. I know Unreal Tournament was an early game.
Mm-hmm. That's all I know.
That was all on par with Quake at the time. I know it was a fast-paced first-person shooter. That's all, but that's all my knowledge exists of Unreal Tournament.
I had no clue. There was just something about the episode that I really liked. Where I
thought it was very cool, like a sentient robot taking over.
It was
coming through.
I mean, mind you, as well, this is episode 4. So for me, this is out of all the episodes. You start off. So episode 1 is Dungeons and Dragons. Then we go Sifu. Then we go New World. Then we go Unreal. This is the first game that felt like it had a serious tone, and maybe that's why I liked it. Was because there's more of that serious tone. But it had a full beginning, middle, end. It had a full arc within that 19 minutes, and I think that's one of the reasons why I liked it so much.
Good point. I like that. Yeah, I think I think it's lower for me just because, like how you're saying, like a lot of the stuff you know nothing about. For me, that's probably why it fell so low for me.
Yeah, that's fair. I had no clue, but the fact of it being like it's this robot. He's this. He's that. He gets thrown into the pits, but he's learning. He's no longer just a robot. He's sentient basically.
Yeah.
And he's going up through the ranks, and you see him just learning and learning and learning, and they're like, what the hell are we gonna do? And then at the end of it, it's like, oh, this is what he's gonna do. He's gonna hack into the mainframe and then just show everyone that, hey, they're using you. And then rebel. I was like, this is just such a good episode. Like that was my thing with it, but
it was a good episode. Solid episode.
Yeah,
nothing bad to say about it. My next one, the Dungeons and Dragons episode. So that was my 9.
I would potentially put this in worst.
Okay.
This is more on that end for me.
It was very campy, but I guess that at the end of the day, that is Dungeons and Dragons.
So that wasn't even the part of it for me. So there was 2 things for it. One, as a normal thing with Dungeons and Dragons, none of it makes any goddamn sense.
Yeah.
2, the mage, the warlock girl lady thing.
Yeah. The elf.
I didn't like the design.
That's the design they use.
Yes, didn't like
that.
It
wasn't just like the design for this episode. Like that's what they look like in Baldur's Gate. Exactly like that. Yeah.
Don't like it. Punch it off the cliff.
No, sorry, gnome, not an elf. A gnome.
A gnome? Okay.
Gnome. That's so. I have in one of my playthroughs. I have a gnome hunter, not hunter, fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the design.
The fighter dwarf was dope.
Yeah.
He was sick. The coolest part of the whole thing was seeing Tiamat at the end.
Is that the dragon?
Yeah, the dragon. Yeah.
Okay.
The 5-headed dragon. Yeah. That was the coolest part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like outside of that, though,
I don't know anything about Dungeons and Dragons either. So
I just know Tiamat because it's a magic. It is a magic card as well, but it's like the dragon of dragons, like that sort of thing. But yeah, it was one of those things. Like as soon as I saw the gnome, I just couldn't get into it. I was like, that's
it's funny. That's the first episode I watched because it was the first episode. I was like, man. So All right, we agree on that. So next one, Spelunk at number 10. Spelunky.
So this will be my take
Yeah.
for Splunky. Incredible message.
Yeah.
I'm already too old for it.
Positive. Yeah, definitely. Minus them dying, it was a very like childlike thing. I have a buddy who streamed every once in a while, and when he did stream, he would always stream Spelunky too. So I got to see him play, and I don't never need to play it.
That's
but
awesome.
I would watch him play, and it's just a pure dungeon crawler over and over. You just go to a new dungeon,
well,
new dungeon,
and that's the thing is,
dungeon.
it's like I like the idea of it being the like an older person and a younger person. The older person basically being like, every time I die, I put down a mark because it reminds me of something. It reminds me of the memory of what I did, this, that, and the younger person being like, whatever, it doesn't matter. And then later on, like 10 minutes into the episode, she's freaking out, and it's like, are you okay? And it's like 82. And what? 82. I've done this 82 times now, and I haven't gone any further, and I haven't done this and that. And it's just like I said, I'm great message of everything, like to just live your life and actually, like, you know, remember the small things, remember the moments, remember all that, because at the end of the day, the bad is gonna happen. You got to remember the good shit. I'm already too old. I already know that. For a younger audience.
Yeah,
that's my
have
thing.
you ever seen gameplay for it?
For Splunky, I do believe so. I'm gonna look.
It's like it's a 2D side scroller.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I think of it as like going up and down Yes. Yep.
Yeah. So it's cool because I know that's like people. That's like people who love that game love that game. So it's kind of cool. It got some representation. So that was number 10, Spelunk. 11 was Conquered.
Yep.
12 Sifu. 13 Mega Man, 14 PlayStation. I didn't watch Honor of Kings because I ran out of time.
Honor of Kings is like a mobile game.
Okay, I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah. So the whole episode is like basically like it starts off with like it's an orphan prodigy challenges the all-knowing artificial intelligence that rules the city. So basically it's like guy goes up to starts to go.
Is it like a mobile MOBA?
I think so. I genuinely don't know.
It looks like a MOBA actually. It looks like a League knockoff now that I'm looking at it.
So like it's this guy going up to the city, and the whole city's moving. And because of the artificial intelligence, it rules the city, so it just moves stuff around, right?
Oh, it's a 10-cent game, so yeah, it's a MOBA knockoff.
And a bridge starts to come up, and the bridge only goes up like halfway. So the guy's like basically like, I'm gonna go challenge this guy I'm gonna go challenge it to become the ruler of the city and fix the city, like that sort of thing. And the artificial intelligence is basically doing what the artificial intelligence is always gonna do, which is like, I already know your move. I know exactly what you're gonna do before you do it. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do that. Hee hee ha ha. I know everything. You don't have any real fate. You don't have any real, you know, like you can't do stuff. And then the guy's like, okay, cool. I'm gonna sacrifice myself then. He's like, if the chessboard that we're playing on, or the board, I don't know what game they're playing, but like if the board that we're playing on is the city, then I'm going to put my pieces in the place to sacrifice where I am right now. And the artificial intelligence like freaks out. And he's like, no, never mind, you win. You're in control now.
I was just reading 10 Cent, huge Chinese company, so it's they make these huge games. Honor Kings, apparently huge game in China. Yep. They're huge. Tencent acquired Riot this year.
Oh.
So now it's not even like it's all the same, and then like League has Mobile League.
Yeah.
So like it's like this whole weird big ecosystem of the same game.
If you have the game 1 and 2.
Yeah. And 3, technically, I guess.
double triple ziminis.
I know Pokemon's probably still popular. But then is it as popular as Dota? Who knows?
Yeah.
Dota.
But that's the whole episode though. It's a really cool episode, but the ending of it is very weird. Like after this, if you go and watch it, just like as soon as you see the ending, you'll be like kind of it's like okay, like I was like what's all right, whatever. Like it's kind of that's how I started feeling as well, because like I said, to me, the first half was better than the second half for me. So when you get through an 18-minute Concord episode. And then you get into just kind of like a weird mind.
I think it looks like it's the 2 longest episodes back to back.
Yeah, it's like, and it didn't need to be. But, so that's our listings of them. So now the next thing is this, though, is if you could, what are some IPs that you would want to see for season 2? I have a list. I got 12.
You have 12. Okay.
12. Some of them are very basic. Some of them are from my childhood, and some of them I know a lot of people won't agree with. So,
okay.
I'm going to go with the basics first.
Yeah.
Apex. Overwatch.
Knew it.
Marvel Rivals.
Tough.
Valorant.
Doable.
The four easiest ones that will bring views, that will help the community of each game.
Well, I would say Valorant probably has the most likelihood of being made.
Yes. Now
that they are owned by Tencent. You just went through that whole thing, and there's a Tencent thing on here, and Tencent's a very huge company that's has some influence. So Valorant, they have Arcane, which is such a huge show on Netflix, which is just League, right?
Yep.
It's not just League, but it's a league based on League of Legends. So I would say Valorant would probably be the most likely to be made if they're not already making a full-length series. Especially that's being pushed hard right now.
Yeah, I just like Apex and Overwatch just need to get in the game eventually. And then only reason why I'm saying Marvel Rivals is because it's hitting. Yeah. And it's hitting with everyone. I mean, last I knew, I don't see him live right now, but the last I saw, Tim the Sandman was streaming from when I
saw something earlier from him too.
Yeah, he was streaming from when
he's hard stuck in silver right now.
And he's basically streaming like 7+ hours a day of just Marvel Rivals.
Yeah, okay. Tangent. How do you feel about Marvel Rivals? I'm actually curious to hear about you.
I enjoy it.
You enjoy it?
Yeah, I've been able to an extent. I still rage a little bit. I've been able to disconnect the fact that I'm not good at the game.
You're fine at the game. Well, you're good at the game.
Well, compared to how I feel with Overwatch, where like I've been playing Overwatch for obviously not as long as everyone else, but I've been playing it for 6 years now. So it's like I feel like I know what needs to happen. I know what needs to do this, that. In Marvel Rivals, a lot of it's
counters. Don't know any counters yet. Like I don't really know the counters.
I just play. I just kind of play, and it's like I'm enjoying
we had good games the other night when we played.
Yeah, and this thing is like earlier today, I think I went 40-0 with Namor on one map, and then like 2 games later, I went like 20-7 with him, and we just got absolutely spanked. And I'm just like, okay, like sure, like. It's like and that's the thing is like so I've been enjoying it. Me and Rob play it on and off now, so it's just another game that we've added to the to the repertoire. But like it's
like I was saying when I was streaming, we were playing the other night. It's like they're in a weird spot right now because they have all these people playing it, all these people loving it. What's going to happen with this their first update?
Yeah, which I mean is today.
Is it okay? So like
because this is the first event is today because at least.
So, my thing is like what happened. So like they've captured the like like Helldivers captured the zeitgeist of like the internet.
Yes.
And then they fucking lost everyone.
Yes.
Like how are they going to hold on to people without pissing people off and keeping the numbers? So, like that's like what do they do?
I think that they're just going to because like right now they're at 110K viewers. They're already doing their first event, which is a winter event. It's 5 skins. That's it. And it's like these are the characters. It's Jeff. Yeah. It's Groot and Rocket. It's Venom Magic. That's it.
Okay.
At least from what I know, that's it.
I have not played Magic yet.
Yeah. So
I just call it Magic, but
yeah. But that's it. They added a new game mode.
Is that free skins? Play for them?
I think it's pay. I think one of them is free. I think they're, but
I think right now skins are way too expensive.
I will agree, but at the same time, I will say this: a bundle on there is about the same, if not less than a bundle for Overwatch. However,
notoriously expensive.
However, on Marvel Rivals, you can get them for free by playing the game.
In theory,
yes. Whereas in Overwatch, you can't.
Well, not necessarily free.
Yeah. All you need
wouldn't get enough points.
All you need is blue.
You also need to do the Battle Pass. Battle Pass is not free.
Yeah, no. So, I mean, you don't even need to do the Battle Pass, though, because there's the free stuff in the Battle Pass. So, it's one of those things, like, for instance, I'm going to buy the Black Panther 2 Namor skin eventually, or bundle eventually.
Oh, you are spending money.
No. That's why I said eventually. Oh, because I'm going to save up the blue points.
Yeah, okay.
And it's just going to take one of those things. It's going to be like the old school. Do you remember the old school Fortnite kid? That it was like a kid, his dad said he wasn't allowed to buy the Battle Pass, so he played every single season, and by like season 8, he had enough free V-Bucks that he had got through the Battle Passes, where he had just gotten the free version, the free like 200 points or whatever they gave him.
Yeah.
By like season 8, he got the battle pass, and it's like the video of it's like this kid like bawling his eyes out because he was finally able to buy the battle pass after 2 years or a year or whatever.
It was probably the worst battle pass too.
Yeah, but like,
I'm just kidding.
But like, so that's what it's gonna be though. Is it's just gonna be one of those things. It's like I'm just gonna wait I'm gonna wait for a couple seasons, and then eventually I'll be able to buy something, and then I'll buy it. Because it's one of those things. Like, but Overwatch doesn't have that. If you want to buy skins on it, you have to spend money.
You have to.
Yeah.
And like, even now with the new mythics and stuff, like we logged on to play at the end of the last season, and I was like, oh, that soldier gun's awesome. How much is it? I'm like, oh, $40.
Yeah.
If you don't have the prisms.
Yeah, exactly. So it's
like, oh my god, that's $40 for a weapon skin. That's like Counter-Strike money. And Valorant skins. Have you seen Valorant skins? The price of Valorant skins?
Oh yeah, I've talked with Fedge about that because this was back when me and Fedge were buying like everything in Apex. I was showing him the Valorant stuff and being like, "Good thing we don't play this game because
it's insane. It's like I don't get it."
Money. But those are my just kind of like blanket ones. Though. Yeah, because like I said, I think Marvel Rivals
those are games you play. You love the lore. It makes sense.
Exactly, and I think the Marvel Rivals is in a solid spot right now where it's like it's a big enough IP, it's out there. Why not capture the audience? Now, of course, it is one of those things. It's Marvel, therefore, technically, it is Disney. Therefore, it should technically just go on Disney Plus. However, if they're doing secret level stuff, why not give them this one thing?
It's tough,
right? Like like you said, it's tough because it's like, do you just put it on Disney Plus or do you just do this? I would say do this, see how it works. If it's a very good episode and people like it, okay, let's
Because Disney's not doing any Marvel animation stuff, are they? Other than What If?
Not that I know of. So
yeah. So
Okay, so that's my first 4. That's just kind of like blanket ones. Here's some ones that I think would be just fun episodes. Banjo-Kazooie.
Okay. Yeah.
That would be a banger of an episode.
Who owns Banjo? Is that on Microsoft?
It's Microsoft. Yeah.
Okay.
So Banjo-Kazooie, Star Fox.
Okay.
Just another one, just a fun one to see. Rayman.
Yeah.
Perfect Dark, I think would be kind of cool.
Yeah. Ratchet and Clank. You throw all these in. Yep. That's another place. That's a PlayStation one. I think Horizon Zero Dawn would be a good one if they're if they're going the PlayStation route with a lot of stuff.
Okay, so now Robopawn. So Robopawn was basically think of Pokemon but with robots.
Okay.
It was a random game I remember as a kid that I had on the Game Boy that I played all the time, and I couldn't get past one of the opening levels because I didn't understand the game because I was like 7 years old. But it's one that I've always remembered. It's one of those things. So just a random off-kilter thing like that I think would be kind of cool.
I'm going with that. Stardew Valley.
Okay. I dig that too. Yeah.
I think Stardew Valley would be a good one.
So my other one...
It could be a cute, fun episode like Spelunky.
So my other one is Monster Rancher. Another just random.
Which had a show.
Yeah, really bad. I rewatched it recently.
It doesn't hold up.
No,
that's upsetting. That's
not
upsetting.
at all.
Okay.
And then I have 2. These are my final 2 that I have. One of them is getting a series. It's Magic the Gathering. So it won't happen.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But
a single episode would be cool.
Not a video game, really.
And that's when the second one comes in, and it's one that we play as well. It's Lorcana. Because there is lore. There is lore in Lorcana.
There's lore, yeah.
Not just like lore as in like you get to 20 and you win.
There's actual
lore to behind the story. So I thought that would be kind of a cool one because depending on when it releases, if they can, to an extent, time it with the same time as set releases, or starts to release, a nice little, hey.
Oh, even think about current games. Stalker. That'd be an interesting universe.
Ooh, there we go, yep.
Yeah, because actually, if there's this guy who does fan-made stuff. He does like really high-end live-action filming. Have you heard of SCP stuff?
Yes.
Secure, contain.
Yes, and I'm not going to say why. I'm not going to tell you why I know of it. But yes.
Secure, contain, protect. That's what the key is. Remember.
Yeah.
So I think like the whole It's like everything. There's like this is just like an art book of like all the like different SCP incidents.
Yeah, what 1471.
So like I think that would be a very cool because it has a ton of lore you can do.
That's
And
that's the
there's a lot of like live action stuff, and he also just released a Stalker one.
yeah, that's the one for me is 1471.
I turned off my headset again.
I was saying yes, I have heard of it. Don't ask me why, and then I said it's 1471.
Is that a sex thing?
That's where I'm leaving
Probably.
it. It's where I'm leaving it. If you
right.
want to look it up, you can. But yeah, no. So yeah, like I said, I think like a lot of mine are old. Like that's my list. That's my 12. It's a lot of older things. Are you looking it up right now?
Maybe.
But yeah, that's my list of things. Some that I would like to see. Obviously, there's more that I think would be kind of cool to see. But those are the main ones for me because it hits a little bit of what I'm playing now and a lot of bit of my like they did a Banjo-Kazooie episode. I'd be ecstatic. So
yeah,
that's my big one. Is
Banjo. Very cool. There's a lot. So like, it all comes down to like what can they license, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, PlayStation's clearly on board. There's nothing. I guess maybe Outer Worlds is kind of very Xbox centric because it is an Xbox studio.
Yeah, I think that it's. Like I said, I think it all depends on how it's received.
Yeah,
because as we know, season 2 has been announced. Like they are doing a season 2. Like that's a thing. But now the question is though, is it's like, did they already have ideas for season 2?
It's tough because like I know that like Love, Death, and Robots season 2 and 3 weren't as received as well as season 1.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like a fact. So
I don't know if that would be the same thing with this because of it just being video games, right?
Yeah.
So
I don't know. That's tough. They clearly put a lot of money into it.
Yes, you can
they
definitely
have real,
tell. Well, that's the thing is,
voice actors and recognizable people.
There's a lot of that, and there was a lot of love put into this. Like, this was actually a very good. Like, even though yes, I have my worst ones. Yes, I think some of the episodes were like set ups were ups, so downs were downs.
Worst ones, but none of them were bad.
Yeah, it's just the wording of it, right? It's just that out of 15 episodes, there's going to be some that will be the better, and there's going to be some that will be the worst. Like, but at the end of the day, it's one of those things where you can tell that they genuinely cared about it. The big thing for me was just the fact of, I want to see. There's certain things I want to see more of, but now that I know that there's a season 2, it's like I don't care about what I want to see more of anymore. I want to know what's next because it's
we're gonna get what we're gonna get.
Yeah,
it's gonna be at least 2 years, probably.
Yeah, I'm assuming. So, like I said, it's gonna be very.
The good thing is though, like as like this being what it is, like where it's like different. It is different studios or different groups working on each thing. It doesn't have to be like one at a time. Like they can all be like the development of these can all be overlapped. So like that might cut down on time, sometime at least. That's my takeaway.
Fair. So to wrap this all up, I'm gonna blow your brain and potentially everyone else's if they don't know this. Scheduled for release in 2025, a video game that continues the story of the Pac-Man episode, titled Shadow Labyrinth.
Oh, a game.
Shadow Labyrinth will be a 2D action-adventure game. The game's playable character will be known as the Swordsman, as he is guided around a giant maze by an orb known as Puck. Throughout the game, the player will explore the maze while fighting against monsters. The player will also be able to acquire new abilities and items. Several journalists upon its announcement considered the game to be a Metroidvania-style game. So that's the thing. We're getting it.
Okay, that's very cool.
And it will be available on yes.
Yes. It's everything.
Switch, PS5, Windows, Xbox. Release 2025.
There it is. It's next year.
The game's development is being joined by
Q4, but
the producer of the Tekken series. Yeah. Well, there we go.
That's the answer.
That's the answer. So,
I thought you were going to say the series is set for 25. I was like, oh, no way.
oh no. Yeah, no. So that'll be exciting to. I'll give it a shot. Why not? I'll play it. See what happens.
Yeah.
But yes, that is our look. That is our views. That is our thoughts on Secret Level.
Positive.
Overall, very good series, which is nice to see. And I'm looking forward now to seeing the next installment and what we have coming down the line. But so with that being said, to leave you guys off with a little sneak peek, you will be seeing us again here soon. We're not going to say why. We're not going to say why. You're just going to see us soon again. Just know that. So yeah. Final thoughts, DeNutte?
I think very positive, happy, I'm glad I had a reason to sit down and watch it all.
Yes. So there we go. So
yeah,
let us know what you guys think down in the comments down below. And as always, depending on where you are, morning, after, even night, stay out of trouble, stay safe, and we talk to y'all later. Okay, bye.